on the gridiron or courtside, you know what time it is. It's
Sports plus life. Sports plus life.
ringside or front court or field pass, we ballin', no. Knuckle up or buckle up, I tell it like it is when I'm on my show. Home run, slam dunk, knockout, or got to go.
Sports plus life.
Yeah.
Sports plus life.
Yo, 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 yo! What's up? What's really good? It's your boy Brandon Brevon, Towns, host of that show called Sports Plus Life. Okay? And y'all already know what's going down today, so guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Turn it off, bro. You know what? Just go ahead. Turn it the hell off. I'm sorry, I'm just being silly, being goofy. You should have heard me being goofy right before I started the show today. I was in there. I was with my daughter, and we were watching a Goofy movie. I put on a Goofy movie for her. She wanted to watch Disney Plus, so I'm just scrolling down Disney Plus, and I'm like, oh, I was like, okay, Goofy movie, okay, and I'm just sitting there bouncing around and singing the old Tevin Campbell song. Some people talking about the typical things, living all their lives waiting in the wings. It ain't a question of it, just a matter of time before I move to the front of the line. What you watching every move that I make, you gotta believe that I got what it takes, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I was being silly, and we bouncing around. So I just got goofball syndrome in my head right now, you know. But anyway, how's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing great. Hope everybody's doing wonderful. It is a beautiful day outside today in the Richmond, VA. What is it, about 92 degrees, 91, 92 degrees? Great day. Again, beautiful day after just an ugly ass weather week pretty much last week. Which was my first week back at work from the vacation. But it is Monday, August 23rd, 2000 of the 2-1. And yes, it's August already. I swear, one thing that I've said, I'll say it before, and I'll say it 1,000 more times. Once you get into grown-up life, once you are out of school, time does nothing but go faster and faster and faster and faster. And like I said, we're in the second half of the year now. We're in the second half of the year, and school's about to start. I have to wake my kids up early now because my daughter's going to start school this year. But my son, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, and my son is still awake. What the hell? Hold up. Time out, partner. Because now, my son likes to sleep until 12, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, I see why. See, for his birthday, I got him a laptop. Made him very happy. Just the reaction makes it all worth it. But my man's does not want to detach himself from that laptop. So, okay, homeboy, I let you sleep till 10:30 today, but got you up, got you dressed, fed you good breakfast, and reintroduce yourself to something called sunlight. Okay? Reintroduce yourself to something called fresh air. Get your ass up out this house and go outside and play. Remember what that was like? Remember how that feels? My goodness gracious. Because school starts in a couple of weeks. So anyway, I also want to say what's up again to my Springer family. I hope everybody's doing well, and we're still recovering, we're still healing, but this is something that we're gonna do together. And one thing that I love is how much more we all are just appreciating each other. This isn't just a class of 2001 thing, because I was most social when I was in school. I was more social with either upperclassmen or lowerclassmen. And I love my class. I love my class with a passion. But, I love everybody. class 2000, I love class 2002, 2003, 2004, the class of 99. I love, man, that's when what I'm loving is how much love we are just all showing to each other, because like you never know. You never know. And I just can't wait until we get up. We're looking at the East End Rec Center. I know I talked to Tanisha a couple of days ago on IM. But yeah, we're looking at the East End Rec, of course, September 11th. And what's crazy is, and what's funny is that, again, this isn't going to be quote unquote the official reunion. Because I don't want to sit here and say, hey, only people of class of 2001 can come. Man, if you Holland Springs, of course, it's generated around class of 2001. But if you HS, baby, if you HS, just show some love. Show some love and see people that you love and that people who love you. Okay? Because it's crazy, because yesterday I was talking to one of my boys who live out in Chesterfield, from Chesterfield. And he, we were talking, not gonna put his business out there, nothing like that. But I know he said yesterday he was going to this park around where he lives at, because there was a bunch of people out there just playing kickball, cooking on the grill. So he called me back later. I said, so how was everything? And he was like, cool, man, just pretty much like a class reunion. I said, so was it scheduled? Did y'all rent a spot or something like that? He said, nah, we just, a bunch of people just called people or hit them up on social media, and everybody went out and had fun, had a good time. It was a bunch of people. I knew everybody there. There's a bunch of people there. And that's what I'm talking about. We're all grown. We all have our different lives, but we can just get up whenever we want. If we send out a chain message, tag people, whatever, we can get up and have fun and just chill, hang out anytime we want. Anytime we want. And I can't wait. Because I love you guys. I miss you guys. And we're going to have some fun. The only thing that I need to know is what the policy is as far as like sound system and stuff, because I'll DJ that bitch. I mean, straight up. Honestly. All jokes aside. And I hope my man, I hope Doug had a safe flight back to Germany. So shout outs to you, bro. Shout out to you, bro. And hopefully you'll be back in the States soon enough. But shout out to everybody. Again, shout out to my man BG. Shout out to my cousin David. You need to bring your little goofy ass on back here to Virginia instead of West Virginia. But if you're happy, brother, that's cuzzo. That's all I care about. My man Sean, my brother. That's my motherfucking brother. Okay. Shout out again to everybody who I saw. Keita, Chantel, Gina. The list just goes on and on. Brian Hayes. All my peoples, man. All of my peoples. Shout out to you guys. And we're going to link up and we're going to have a good ass time. We really are. We really and truly are. Adrian, Adrian just means the absolute world to me, and she's hitting everybody up every day to show love bombs for me. You are so dope. You are. You absolutely are. I mean, everybody who has that just infectious, contagious, positive energy, like Adrian, like Carisha, like you guys y'all are the ish. Just that infectious, contagious, positive vibe that just makes you want to be around them, that just makes you want to do better. That's like that. Honestly, that's how I feel about my boy Brian, like Brian Hayes, and my big homie Broadway, Brian Ford. Like, just that positive energy of just, look, no matter what, everything is going to be all right. And I'm not going to let this shit go until we link up. And we are going to link up, straight up. But again, mwah to everybody. So now it is time to talk sports. You dig? So without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, we're going to start with the sweet science. There was a big fight Saturday night in Las Vegas. Manny Pacquiao was supposed to be Errol Spence, but remember Errol Spence had a retinal tear in his eye, and he, as a replacement 2 weeks in advance, they got Yordenis Ugas, who was supposed to fight on that fight card, but when Spence got the injury, they offered him to fight Pacquiao, and Ugas was the WBA welterweight champion, a belt that he got, that he basically claimed off the waiver wires because Manny Pacquiao's inactivity over the last 2 years. And to me, the fight lost its luster when Errol Spence got hurt. But you couldn't tell that to the sold-out T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. And my fears were pretty much validated because Manny Pacquiao lost. He lost to Ugas, and it was a justified decision. I'm just going to be honest. It was a justified decision because Pacquiao is now 42 years old. He had been battling father time, and not saying that he's going to retire now, but he hadn't fought in 2 years, and I think that was the biggest thing because Manny Pacquiao at 40 years old looked great against Adrian Broner in 2019. He looked great against an undefeated Keith Thurman in 2019. And then everything with COVID, and he's a senator. He hadn't fought for 2 years. And again, what I feared was him fighting Errol Spence and getting beaten up because Errol Spence is a bad boy. He is the truth. And I thought Pacquiao, when I first heard this fight, I was like, well, damn. Because at first, Pacquiao, they were talking about Pacquiao fighting Terrence Crawford. And I'm not saying that Errol Spence is better than Terrence Crawford because I don't believe that. But I'm looking at this, but styles make fights. And if I saw Pacquiao get in the ring with Spence, I was afraid he was going to get beat up. I'm afraid he was going to really get his ass hurt, get his ass whipped. But Ugas, who's a damn good fighter, he won the fight. Pacquiao had no defense for the overhand right by Ugas. And my boy Dre, who came over, the first couple of rounds, he's like, wow, Manny looks good. Manny looks good. I said, yeah, he does. I said, but when is age 42 going to kick in? I said, and when age 42 kicks in, will Ugas take advantage? Because age 42 kicked in right around the 5th or 6th round. And, because at the first 2 rounds, Manny he's up, he's on his toes, he's throwing fast, hard combinations. But when age 42 kicked in, those fast combinations turned into pity pat shots. And, Manny's, the way he generates his offense is to kind of dive in. And, that's what got him put to sleep years ago against Marquez in their 4th fight. And you can tell that that's still, that he still thinks about that. And you don't want to be getting it's different if you're getting put to sleep when you're 32 as opposed to when you're 42. You just don't want that. To be honest. But Ugas was calm, composed. He was in the ring smiling. And, this fight was the first time that I actually saw Manny Pacquiao smiling at his opponent. And that might not seem like a big deal to some, but I've been a Pacquiao fan for a long time. I've been watching Manny Pacquiao fight for 17 years, since 2004. And I saw him smiling at his opponent as if to say, this is the best I got. This is the best that I have. And Ugas is a big guy for a welterweight. He's a big dude. He's a very big dude. Do you put him against Errol Spence? Now, the fight was close. It was a unanimous decision, but the fight was close. 2 of the judges had it 115, 113. So it was a very close fight. And Ugas is a world-class fighter. He's a top-notch world-class fighter. So this will probably lead Manny Pacquiao to still believe, because he's still a competitor, of saying, hey, well, maybe if I'm more active, I can beat a guy like that. But Ugas ain't no Errol Spence. He ain't no Terrence Crawford. But he is now one of the 3 guys with belts in that division. Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, Yordenis Ugas. So does this lead to a unification fight? I mean, come on now, look, as far as I'm concerned, the world needs to see Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence.
Excellent.
This is boxing, doing boxing shit. And basically by that I mean screwing it up for the fans that, want to see the best fight the best.
What's wrong with you?
But if you're Manny Pacquiao, look, my personal opinion is let's hang it up, bro. It's time to hang it up. But like I said, it's a split, if not a split decision. It was a unanimous decision, but it was a close unanimous decision. If it was a unanimous decision where Pacquiao, you had judges having Pacquiao losing 10 of the 12 rounds, okay, then he will probably say to himself, I just don't have it. Or worst case scenario, he gets knocked out. So, but who are you going to fight? Who are you going to fight? Because I thought Ugas won the fight. I didn't think he would get the decision because it was a close fight. And, Manny Pacquiao is still, like I said, sold out T-Mobile Arena. He's a legend. He is a legend and he can still fight. But, I mean, I only can see Manny Pacquiao at the top fighting the top guys. And I don't think he can beat, of course, I didn't give him a chance in hell against Errol Spence. I would give him actually, because like I said, styles make fights. I would give him a better chance against Terrence Crawford because Crawford is his size. I would give him a better chance against Crawford than I would against Errol Spence. But again, you just lost the fight. So who are you fighting? Okay, because I can tell you now, the 2 guys who you ain't getting in the ring with now. I don't think now, if Pacquiao had won the fight, I think that you would still see Pacquiao versus Spence. But I don't think you're gonna see that now. You ain't getting in the ring with Spence. You ain't getting in the ring with Sean Porter. I'll tell you that right now. And I'm not saying that Sean Porter as a puncher is just, oh my God, like Errol Spence. But he plays football in the ring. But he has great fights. Sean Porter fights are must-see TV, as Errol Spence, as Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia. Now, could I see Pacquiao fighting Danny Garcia and winning? Yeah, I could. Welterweight division is the most loaded division in boxing. But where does a 42-year-old, soon to be 43-year-old Manny Pacquiao fit in amongst the best in that division? I don't know. I don't see it. I don't. I really don't. When you're talking about the very best of that division, I don't see it with Manny. Not now. Because, once again, he looked great 2 years ago at 40 years old against Adrian Broner, which now, yeah, big whoop. But Keith Thurman was undefeated champion. He was an undefeated champion who had some good wins on his resume, and Manny looked great against him. Even though the 40 years old was age 40 was kicking in the second half of that fight, and that was in 2019. So, Manny says he's about 60-40 retired. What does that mean? That means he's going to fight again. That means he's going to fight again. Because, like I said, he'll look and say, well, I lost the fight, but I didn't get hurt. It was a close fight that I could have won. I fought this guy. I spent a whole couple of months training for Errol Spence, and then in 2 weeks' notice, I had to fight a whole nother guy with a whole nother style. So there are a lot of things that Manny Pacquiao can tell himself to keep him fighting, to get him back in the ring against a top-notch guy. And honestly, I don't now, seeing that he lost to Ugas, I don't give a damn if it was on 2 weeks' notice. I don't want to see him fight Errol Spence. Of course, if they make the fight, I'm going to watch it, but I would be scared for him. I'm a Manny fan, and Errol Spence will hurt him. Errol Spence will hurt him. Especially if Errol Spence is 100% healthy coming into that fight. I would rather see him fight Terrence Crawford. If he's going to step back in the ring with the best the welterweight division has to offer. Do I think he could beat a guy like Danny Garcia? I do. You will not put him anywhere near Sean Porter. like I said, styles make fights. Do not put that man in the ring with Shawn Porter. Because while Shawn Porter's a very nice guy, like I said, he plays football in the ring. Manny will get hurt. He'll get hurt from more or less physical, rough, I don't like I said, because I don't think Shawn Porter's a dirty fighter. It's just his style. He'll get hurt against Shawn Porter with physical tactics. Errol Spence will put them hands on him and will hurt him. And I really don't want to see that happen to Manny Pacquiao. I mean, he's been too great for the sport. But again, it's hard to tell a fighter, a champion, when it's time to hang it up, especially in today's, and especially in the way sports are today, where you have your athletes who are staying in their careers longer. I mean, hell, on September 11th, Oscar De La Hoya is coming out he's fighting. He's coming out of retirement and is going to have a 10-round light heavyweight fight. Oscar De La Hoya is 48 years old. Okay, so in a day where modern athletes' expiration dates have definitely gone to a longer lifespan, look at Tom Brady. Look at, like I said, Oscar De La Hoya. Look at, hell, even Mike Tyson fighting exhibitions in his 50s is still amazing because you have to be in shape. But I think it's time for Manny to call it a day, man. If you want to have one more fight because you want to go out a winner, you can go ahead and get some tomato can out there and you can beat him up. Just beat him up for a few rounds and cruise to a decision. But him fighting, the best of the welterweight has to offer, you can't do it. I don't think, I don't think that he can win those type of fights now. And Saturday was just a clear example of that. So I've been watching Manny Pacquiao fight for a very long time. And it's time. It's just time. You're a politician and he may be the president of the Philippines one day. But it's just time. But anyway, let's go now to the NF of the L. You hear the music. This is usually my beginning topic, music. And a lot of the times I lead off with football. Preseason. It's interesting, very interesting. Because, particularly if I'm going to talk about my Denver Broncos, again, we looked good. We looked great. We beat up on the Seattle Seahawks. But again, not a lot of starters were playing. And I thought that Seattle's defense was going to bring in their number one defense, at least for a couple of series. This was the game that Teddy Bridgewater started, and Teddy Bridgewater looked good.
Excellent.
He looked good. I am praying that Teddy Bridgewater is the starter week 1 rather than Drew Lock. Get Drew Lock. I'm gonna say it again. Get Drew Lock the hell off my football team because obviously they're not gonna cut him. But Teddy Bridgewater, Drew Lock has a bigger arm, but the way Teddy Bridgewater had that offense moving, and with precision and accuracy, that's my quarterback. That's who I want to see as my quarterback. Defense looked good, but again, I'm not going to get overly excited when we're doing things and making interceptions against Alex Magoo.
Bye, bitch.
Man, I'm just being serious. And that, I could sit there and just have fun with that name, Alex Magoo, for the whole damn show. We weren't playing Russell. And we had a couple of starters in there. Justin Simmons had a pick. Bradley Chubb had a sack. Well, it's Alex Magoo. It is. So, this week is the last preseason games, and then they'll have a bye week, if you will, before they go into the regular season. And, teams that have quarterback competitions are playing their 2 best quarterbacks. You saw that with New England when they played the Eagles, and nobody for the Eagles showed up. You saw that with Cam and Mac Jones. Cam, by the way, is now in COVID protocol. I'm so sick of this damn pandemic. But Look, if you're gonna be a football player, this is just my personal opinion. If you're gonna be an athlete, period, you're gonna come in contact with a lot of people. If you're gonna be an athlete, I believe you should get vaccinated. That's just my opinion. I mean, like I said, I'm not judging anybody if they don't, but what I'm saying is you're gonna come into contact with a whole lot of people, period. And I just minimize the risk. That's all I'm saying. But you saw Cam, Mac Jones. You saw last night Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance both played. Jimmy Garoppolo looked like somebody done stole his mojo. And maybe it's the fact that because they drafted his replacement, he knows they drafted his replacement, and he's just trying to cope with it because a lot of his throws, the few throws that he did have, looked high. Like the interception that he threw, Ayuk should have caught it, but it also, was not the most accurate throw. And I'm going to be honest with you. If he loses his mojo and, the 49ers decide to pretty much, hey, we have to start Trey Lance, they could be in trouble. Because I don't think Trey Lance is ready. I think they should do the Pat Mahomes, Alex Smith thing where he sits for a year. Now, can we depend on Jimmy Garoppolo staying healthy for a year? No. But I wouldn't have him out the gates starting. Now, in a case like the Chicago Bears where you have Andy Dalton and Justin Fields, I guess you can throw Nick Foles' name in there too. I would be starting Justin Fields if I'm the Chicago Bears. I understand, Matt Nagy is trying to stay loyal to what he said about Andy Dalton. They gave him the common courtesy of calling him saying, hey, we're going to draft this, we're going to draft the quarterback. That's all well and good, but Justin Fields just looks like the better option. And another reason why is because the Bears' offensive line ain't that damn good. You're gonna get, and maybe that's why you don't start. Maybe that's why you don't start Justin Fields. But then you're using Andy Dalton as a sacrificial lamb. Those are just some examples. Teddy Bridgewater, Drew Lock, Cam Newton, Mac Jones. Jimmy Garoppolo, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Andy Dalton. You got a couple of more. You have a couple of more examples as well. I don't think there's any controversy. I don't even know Urban Meyer hasn't officially named Trevor Lawrence as his starter. But come on now, he ain't. He's not going to be sitting behind Gardner Minshew when the season starts. I'm not even going to pretend like that's going to happen. Zach Wilson looked pretty good, but I could be wrong, but I think the Jets made a mistake because to me, Zach Wilson ain't better than Justin Fields. The New York Jets overthought and played themselves to me as far as the quarterback who they drafted. And I don't have anything against Zach Wilson. I just don't think he's better than Justin Fields. Ben Roethlisberger looked pretty good. He looked good in their preseason game. But you're playing Detroit backups, and for one, it's Detroit. It's the Detroit Lions, and they're playing their backups. So, am I sold on? There's, I'm glad that they're playing these preseason games because I think people have totally disrespected the value of preseason, honestly. And I think that more starters should be playing a little bit. I think, honestly, I believe that Aaron Rodgers not playing in the preseason, I think that could be a mistake. Now, I believe the chemistry is there with the offense. Same thing with Dak Prescott for Dallas. But I think Dak Prescott not playing any preseason is going to be a mistake, especially because you have to send him to Tampa and that defense week 1. I'm going to have some fun laughing at that. Even though the Cowboys' offense will probably be awesome, it's the Cowboys. They will disappoint you, and I will laugh my ass off. But again, getting back to the 49ers, it looked like somebody done snatched Jimmy G's mojo. And again, if that happens in that division, they are screwed. Which leads me to what I'm going to talk about next. And that is who I believe, and I'm going to get my friend's opinion on this in shows to come. But I figure I'm going to get mine out the way now, and so they can hear where I stand, and they can, of course, formulate their own opinions. Of course, I'm going to have Tony on here. But the 3 best divisions in football coming into this season, I'm going to name it from 3rd to 1st. the three best divisions in the NFL. Okay? So I think, and some things I say might surprise you, but I think the third best division in football right now for this season is going to be the AFC East. And I say that because people want to just hand it to Buffalo. And who knows, that might be what ends up happening. But the way I see it is Miami has gotten better during the offseason. Miami is no longer in rebuild mode. That's over and done with. You know, they may have questions about Tua, but Miami they already have a solid defense. They have the right guy coach. They have put weapons around Tua. You know, you have Devontae Parker, Will Fuller. Keeping him healthy is a challenge. Then you also have Jalen Waddle, who honestly, if Jalen Waddle doesn't get hurt last year at Alabama, Devontae Smith doesn't win the Heisman. I'm not saying that Jalen Waddle does, but to me, Jalen Waddle is better than him. I mean, honestly, to me, he's the better receiver. And you still have tight end Mike Gesicki. So the Dolphins are going to be live. I believe the Patriots will be better. I do. And I like the way Cam is responding to, the Mac Jones challenge, because Cam's not dumb. He understands they drafted Mac Jones to be the future. But Cam, ain't nobody stole his mojo. He looked good against Philadelphia, albeit against backups. I get it. Kayvon Wallace, Highland Springs, baby. Called him check down Cam. It didn't look so check downish to me once the game started. So now the Jets, they're going to be horrible. We understand that. We do. I think they're going to be horrible. But yeah, I think that the AFC East is the third best division in football. Number two, the second best division in football, I believe, is going to be the AFC West. Now, we already know who Kansas City is and what they represent. Patrick Mahomes, probably the best quarterback in football. He is. I mean, that offense, and if McCole Hardman takes a step up, if he ascends as a wide receiver, good Lord, what are you going to do? That's a big if, though, because McCole Hardman is just about as fast as Tyreek Hill. Just about as fast as Tyreek Hill. So we know what they represent. Now with the Chargers, Justin Herbert, by the time the season is over, Justin Herbert you may be talking about him as a top 5 quarterback. Now Los Angeles, the Chargers, they lost a lot of games last year simply because, they couldn't hold a lead at the end, and that falls on, there's an offense, there's a defense. But I believe that the Chargers are going to be significantly better. Sucks that Anthony Lynn is not there anymore, but when you lose games, you lose jobs. Now, the Raiders, the Raiders are going to be a damn good team up until about Thanksgiving. That's kind of been their MO. But again, this is going to be a tight division, and my Denver Broncos I'm not saying this because it's my team. They are loaded. They are loaded from top to bottom. The only thing with us is who is going to be starting under center on Sundays. If it's Teddy Bridgewater, I believe we can make the playoffs. I believe we will make the playoffs if Teddy Bridgewater is our starting quarterback. If it's Drew Lock, we will finish in last place. I'm being dead ass serious. We have a loaded football team. But I believe that is the second best division in football, the AFC West. And the number one division, everybody knows it, no secret, the best division in football is the NFC West. Now look, I said this early in the year. There are now 7 playoff spots in each conference. Now 7, which means you have 4 division winners and 3 wild card teams. I would not be surprised, I'm not predicting this, but it would not surprise me one bit if all 4 teams in the NFC West made the playoffs. That division is that good. It is that good. And if there's an odd man out, I would guess that it would be the 49ers, because I don't think Trey Lance is ready. And right now it looks like somebody done snatched Jimmy G's mojo. For real. I would not be surprised if you had 4 division winners, and then the other 3 wild cards all came from the NFC West. That division is that good, and people are picking the Rams to win the division. I can understand why. I think it's going to be Seattle. I think Seattle's going to win the division. I mean, and this is really a prove-it year for Matthew Stafford, because you out of Detroit, you ain't got no excuse. Now, like I said, Cam Akers going down. Hey, Adrian Peterson's available. So is Todd Gurley. Honestly. I mean, Adrian Peterson, 36. Todd Gurley, 26. So, say what you say, bruh. But you still got the weapons. You got Woods. You got Kupp. If Deshaun Jackson, if Deshaun Jackson is going to stay healthy, because Deshaun Jackson has pretty much been injured the last 2 years and pretty much with getting a paycheck from the Philadelphia Eagles for doing nothing, for going to rehab. But I don't know. It seems that when athletes go home now, they tend to perform better. And Deshaun Jackson is still a burner who can take the top off of a defense. And even with all that being said, and I know they have a defense, with all that being said, I'm still picking Seattle to win that division. But this is the best division in football. You cannot sleep on the Arizona Cardinals as well, with the additions that they have made. Was Kyler Murray going to take a step up? You've added A.J. Green with Nuke Hopkins. I don't know what's going to happen with Larry Fitzgerald. I know he's a free agent. Just came out public and said he doesn't have the desire to play right now, but maybe he will, maybe he won't. Maybe it'll be in Arizona, maybe it'll be in somewhere else. I don't know. Or maybe he's done. But you can't sleep on the Cardinals as well. You can't do it. This is a loaded division, and I actually could see every team from this division making the playoffs. And again, if a team is left out of the playoffs from that division, right now, my money would be the San Francisco 49ers.
Fuck you, and fuck you.
Honest. Because they have a defense that is real. But there's questions at that quarterback play. And just my personal opinion, I don't think Trey Young is ready yet. That's just me. So there you have it. My top 3 divisions in football. Number 3, the AFC East. Number 2, the AFC West. Number 1, the NFC West. I didn't say I'm of course, if you want to say the worst division, obviously, I think it's the NFC East. Obviously. I think that Tampa is going to take the NFC South pretty easily. I think the Packers will win the division, but I think that was see number 3 for me was kind of close, because I don't know what the Vikings are going to do. I just don't know with the Vikings or the Bears. That's why I didn't put them at number 3 instead of the AFC East, because I know the Dolphins have improved. I know the Patriots have improved. So that one was kind of tough. That was kind of tough. And I know, to anybody who chooses to listen, somebody is probably sitting there saying, how in the hell could he not mention the AFC North? Well, I'll tell you how. Because in each of those divisions that I named about 3, at least with the AFC East and the AFC West, I named 3. There are 3 teams that I legitimately think are going to at least make the playoffs, if not win the division. Now, the AFC West, of course, I believe that Kansas City is going to win the division, but I would not. But I think that if we start Bridgewater, we'll get to the playoffs. I believe the Chargers can get to the playoffs, and like I said, I believe that any of those 3 teams in the AFC East, albeit the everybody wants to hand it to the Buffalo Bills, but I believe the Patriots could win that division. I believe the Dolphins could win that division. Any one of the 4 teams in the NFC West could win the division. Why did I not say the AFC North? Because I have a question. Cincinnati's not going to be good this year. They're just not. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are a question mark for me. They really are, because I don't know what their offensive line is going to like. They got rid of 3 of their Pouncey retired. Then you got rid of 2 other offensive linemen who made the Pro Bowl for you last year. Ben Roethlisberger's 39 years old. Okay, he looked better, but again, that was against the damn Detroit Lions and the damn Detroit Lions second stringers. I don't, it's the NFL. You can't pencil anybody into anything because, injury happens. But I'm going to say that Cleveland is going to make the playoffs. Baltimore is going to make the playoffs. I believe that division comes down to those two teams. Those two, not Pittsburgh. And I'm really not saying that as any disrespect, especially to Mike Tomlin, because I think Mike Tomlin is a great coach. I think he is a great coach. But like I said, the other divisions that I named, I believe that those divisions are going to be down to the wire. And I'm not saying that the AFC North won't be down to the wire between Cleveland and Baltimore. But again, those other divisions that I named were at least three teams that I believe has a shot to win the division. And that's really tough because I think the AFC North is a damn good division. But like I said, I have question marks about Pittsburgh. I do. I have question marks about the Steelers. I think the Cleveland Browns all around may be the best team in football. Now, the Baltimore Ravens, they got to get their wide receiver. Now, their wide receivers over the last couple of weeks are dropping like flies. I mean, Bateman is hurt. Bateman probably is not going to be there opening day. Hollywood Brown having some issues. Sammy Watkins predictably is having some issues. Now I'm going to try to make a positive out of that and say, hey, if you're going to get hurt, or if you're going to have some knick-knack injuries, get it out the way now while you still got about 3 weeks before the season starts. So whatever. And Lamar Jackson, please stop catching COVID. My goodness gracious, don't get the damn vaccine, bro. This is what I used to say this all of the time when I first started this show. The Lamar Jackson era is here. Well, it's here, bro. You about to get the bizag, okay? Stop catching COVID. Shit. Honestly. Stop it. Or get the damn vaccine. And you can still catch COVID with the damn vaccine. But, I mean, let's put the safety belt on. I mean, that's pretty much getting the vaccine is pretty much the equivalency of wrapping it up. I'm being dead serious. It's like wrapping it up. It's just, but because I mean, but let me get back to football. I just think that the Ravens and Browns are better than Pittsburgh. Like I said, Cincinnati. I don't think Joe Burrow, honestly, I don't think Joe Burrow should be playing at least until midway next season with the type of injury that he had. I think you're really playing Russian roulette with Joe Burrow. And Jamar Chase, refine your hands, bruh. You have to, let's find your hands again. But yeah, that's why I didn't say the NFC North. That's why I didn't say the NFC North as far as my top three best divisions in football. Because I have questions about Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh could finish 10-7, but miss the playoffs. I'm just saying. So that's all I wanted to talk about when it comes to the NF of the L. Not much to talk about in basketball. Really not much to talk about other than, schedules, releasing, and all of that stuff. I mean, who didn't know that Brooklyn and the Lakers weren't going to play on Christmas? I mean, come on now. I knew that. For one, now, if I'm the Milwaukee Bucks, I'm feeling some type of way. As far as being the main game on Christmas, put some respect on our name. We just won the chip, bitch. That's how I be feeling if I'm a Bucks fan. But not much to talk about in regards to the NBA. Baseball, Yankees is on fire. My New York Yankees is on fire now. They may be a little too far behind Tampa to win the division, but they actually have a 2-game series coming up against another team from the National League that is equally on fire. That is the Atlanta Braves. So getting interesting. It's getting to be about that time in baseball, and my Yankees Yankees are apparently getting their act together, where they will be. They're gonna have to do the only thing about it is they're gonna have to do the wild card, pretty much almost like the NBA's version of a play-in. Well, baseball had it first, but they're gonna have to do the 1-game playoff that's what it looks like. And like I said, I don't see them catching Tampa Bay. But they'll have to do the 1-game playoff. But I think we'll be all right. I think they'll be all right. So, very rare baseball moment here. Very rare baseball moment because, again, I don't pay attention to baseball the way I used to. But I've been side-eyeing what my Yankees are doing, okay? So, anyway, as the music is getting ready to run out, I'm gonna wrap it up. I have to call one of my bros back, see how my homeboy is doing. My boy that I mentioned earlier, who was had all his friends got together in Chesterfield, and they said it was kind of like a reunion. But anyway, my people, I hope you guys enjoyed my sports analysts for the day. Again, Manny Pacquiao. I think it's about time to wrap it up. NFL, let's get this regular season started. Let's get it popping, okay? Because I am ready. Are you ready for some football? Hell yeah, I'm ready for some regular season football. And with that being said, where the buzzer, where the buzzer, where the buzzer? Oh my goodness, summer is almost over, and last week actually at work was the first time since I got sick, since my stroke, that I did my old full route, well over 100 stops. I was out in Fredericksburg, it was the first 2 days that I worked last week. First time that I did that and was able to do that. And then, the next couple of days I went to, to training, which is, this is all good. But I'm going to tell you something, man. It felt good to be able to, do my old route and, finish it up. And I could tell, by the day I was getting stronger, because I had 135 stops last Wednesday. I was done just before 6:30. Then the next day, same area, same amount of stops, 135 stops. I was done at 5:45. So I'm getting stronger. And the glory is all of the Heavenly Father. And He is everything. He is great. He is wonderful. Because I realize every day how blessed and fortunate that I am. And like I said to my HS fam, only person who taking me out is G.O.D. Okay? Your boy is here. Your boy is back. Even though I ain't never went nowhere, just had a little stay in the hospital. It is what it is. Everything can serve as a wake-up call. And definitely had that, but definitely still blessed. Definitely still blessed. And definitely still blessed that I can continue to do this show. It is your boy, Brandon Brevon Towns. If you're not a subscriber, definitely hit that subscription button. Become part of the Sports Plus Life fam and everything else that I do on YouTube, because I'm still putting DJ playlists on there. A couple weeks ago, I did in the Still of the Night acapella, just pay homage, honestly, to my boys. My group that I used to have, way back in the day. Plus, I love acapella music. But hit that subscription button. Join the fam. Any questions, comments, or concerns, definitely leave them in that little box down below. Once again, it's your boy Brandon Brevon Towns. I'm out this bill. Peace. Hey, yo, I love you guys. Later.